Good morning everyone, and thank you for joining me today. It's an absolutely beautiful morning and I'm really excited today because this is my first sunrise shoot with the Nikon Z7 II, which I've bought in recent weeks. And I'm just really excited. It's going to be my first opportunity to capture a sky with nice colour in it. And I'm quite looking forward to seeing how this camera performs. So the sun is starting to rise now. It's about maybe 10 to 15 minutes after sunrise, and probably don't need this thing anymore. But it was obviously very dark when I got here, and there's been some lovely light low down mist across this field. We've had some nice high cloud and some beautiful colour in the sky. Now the sun is just rising and it's going to be moving into my scene, but it's casting some nice golden light across the field in front of me. So I'm going to keep shooting, but obviously with the sun getting up and as time moves on, the colour in the sky won't be quite as good as it was earlier on. So it's always fantastic to be out at sunrise doing some photography. Obviously it gives you the opportunity to capture some nice images. But one of the things that I really like is just the atmosphere, the peace and quiet, and just watching the changing conditions as the sky rises. So at the moment I can see the sun rising off to my left. You may see some of the light either on me or on the camera or tripod here. And it's casting some nice golden light across the field, and there was quite an ethereal look to it as it was coming through the low-lying mist, so that was really nice. As I spoke about earlier, now that the sun is rising, the sky isn't quite as colourful, so it all depends on your taste, what you like. Do you prefer the earlier shot with the colourful sky, or when there's more golden light on the land, or almost the transition period between the two? But if you get to a location early enough, you always give yourself lots of opportunities, and even if things don't materialize the way you want, it's always fantastic to be out early in the morning. I quite like this composition that I'm working on this morning, and I think we'll have a look at that just now and I'll talk you through it. So off to the left of my image we can see this very characterful tree. There's another tree just to its left. We've got this lovely path through the crops in the field leading off to some buildings and a hill in the distance, and we've got a nice stretch of trees coming in from the right, and we've got some lovely curves across the field. At the moment the sun is rising off to my left, so it's casting some nice light across the field, but we're losing a little bit of the nice colour that I had earlier in the sky. I'm using depth of field to make this area in front of me, these bushes, out of focus. I think that adds to the image. I don't want them in focus. And overall I'm really pleased with it. It's a very short window of opportunity I've got this morning, because eventually the sun is going to come across into my frame. The light probably won't be as good, and also I think having the sun up in the frame somewhere off to the left or even behind the tree could possibly unbalance the image. So I'm quite happy that I've managed to get out early this morning, get my way here and capture the image at its best. So it really is fantastic to be out this morning, watching this beautiful scene in front of me change as the morning progresses and the sun rises in the sky. It's something you never tire of. It's always fantastic to be out early in the morning, even if you're not taking photographs. But I'm glad today that I am. So one of the things I've been keen to test today with the Nikon Z7 II is the dynamic range. And I've spoke about how this is my first sunrise shoot, so obviously there's going to be a lot of dynamic range when I arrived first thing here at this scene. But I have been shooting throughout the day a lot in woodlands and various lighting conditions, a lot of contrasty light, bright sky, dark foregrounds and so on, shooting towards the sun. And I've been really impressed with the dynamic range of the Z7 II. I've been able to expose for the highlights, retain detail in the highlights, but also bring up detail if I want to do so in the shadow areas of my images. And I don't always want to do that. I want to keep a natural look to my images. But it's been really fantastic what I've been able to achieve with this camera in terms of capturing scenes with high dynamic range in one shot. So you may have heard me bracketing this morning, and looking at the histogram, I'm convinced I don't need to do that. I'm not going to need to use multiple images. I'm capturing all the dynamic range that I need in one image. I'm not clipping at either side, but I'm purely doing it as a safety measure. The histogram is almost touching at both sides, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to be able to do everything I need with the image just using one exposure. And to me, that's a fantastic benefit. I do edit my images, but I like to only spend as much time editing as is necessary. Obviously, like many photographers, prefer to be outdoors. So if I can use only one exposure, I don't need to blend, maybe do some complicated blending and so on. That saves me time. And also I don't use ND grads anymore, so this camera only further eliminates the need to carry ND grads in my opinion. But yeah, what a beautiful morning it is. So the scene behind me at the moment still looks beautiful, but I'd say we're getting towards the end of golden hour now, so regarding my photography, it's lost its appeal slightly in terms of taking nice photographs, but it's still very nice to look at. So I hope you've enjoyed watching this video and seeing the image that I've captured this morning. It's been fantastic to be out early, doing my first sunrise shoot with the Nikon Z7 II. As always, thank you so much for taking the time to watch. I really do appreciate it, and hopefully I'll see you in my next one.